This is a slab press, and on the side you will see measurements of how thick or thin we want our slab to be. We're going to actually be working between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. Make sure that your clay is positioned or sandwiched in between the two canvases. After you roll it through, you should get nice, clean, flat slab. Next, you are going to need a ruler and your needle tool. Because today we'll be making a slab box just like this. Slab box with the lid and the flanges that sit perfectly inside so that so that the lid does not slide. Okay, the next step is to get a nice straight edge on two sides. And I've decided that I'm going to make my box 4 by 4 inches on each side. So I will end up with a 4 by 4 square. I will need to cut 6 4 by 4 squares because I've got 4 sides, 1 bottom, and 1 top. Okay, I've got 4, 5, and then I'm going to use this extra clay for my lid. So I need my 6th box. I purposely made my lid a little wider. So just so I keep track, I'm going to write lid on it so I don't confuse it with any of my side walls. Next, I grabbed my sponge and I'm just making sure that my walls are nice and smooth. Clean craftsmanship makes a huge difference. After everything is nice and smooth, you're gonna go ahead and grab your blow dryer and dry your sections until they feel little like they could stand. They're still flexible, but they're a little bit more firm. This is a leather dry consistency. All right, so then when we assemble our walls, as we know, when we want to attach 2 sides, we need to score both sides and add some slip. There you go. So you have successfully attached 2 walls. I'm going to place my slip container behind it for support. Now, speaking of craftsmanship, as you could see, the corner there is oozing out slip. Something that I like to do for reinforcement, I actually like to roll out a really, really thin coil that I fit in that corner. And it kind of like fills a gap, you know, any gaps that are happening between the two walls. And then I just grab my modeling tool and I blend the coil into both walls. It's just a cleaner finish, a more secure way to attach two walls. Okay, so then you will just continue to score and add slip on any surfaces that are meant to be glued together. On the outside, you will have some seams that are exposed where you've joined two walls, so you can just go ahead and grab some clay and fill in the gap, and using your wooden tools, you can just simply smooth it back out. All right, as you can see, I have assembled my 5 squares, and now I'm left with my lid. For the lid, you're gonna want to create a flange. Now, a flange is basically anything that sits inside of your box. Basically, it's attached to the lid and it sits inside of your box so that the lid does not slide off. So what I'm doing here is I'm measuring the opening with some coils. And I am basically going to attach them so that they create a smaller square that we are going to then attach to the lid to create the flange. Okay, you always want to go a little smaller than you think when in doubt. Now I'm outlining my flanges so that I know where I'm going to score. And then I also want to score on my coils. Of course, add some slip. And make sure that I have clean craftsmanship and that I smooth everything out and make sure it's properly attached. Okay, so I've smoothed everything out. As you can see, my flange fits perfectly inside of my box. Next, I'm going to create little feet for my box. Like I said, one of the requirements is for you to create feet so that your box is elevated off of the table. In this case, I am going to create little arches. So I started out by rolling out my one coil to make sure that everything is consistent. And now I am making sure they're all close to the same height. Now my clay's still soft, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up the process by drying them a bit. All right, so now they're a little harder, a little stronger. I'm going to go ahead and score my feet, my little arches, on each of my corners. And voila, I created a little handle for my lid that works with the arches on the feet. And this is part 1.